Welcome to the channel Encyclopedia Catanica. In today's video I'm gonna review those special, mysterious to me padlocks. Those padlocks are in the market for a pretty long time, and I never knew what's the purpose of them. Why? Because their shape and size is pretty awkward. It's really weird, and usually we all used to locks which are beefy, chubby, and pretty hardened, so they give some security, but those locks, they don't provide any good security, but they are huge. Those are 60mm padlocks. This one, both of them are made in China, but this one is made in maybe late 90s, early 2000s, and this one is made in 2014 and maybe till 2017. I don't know. Those are ordered from China. BEOROL is a Serbian brand, but as well as double, BEOROL ordered locks from China, so both of these are not made in Europe, Serbia, or anywhere else, but they're made in China. The weird fact about them, we call those paper locks. Why? Because they are weak and their size, their thickness is almost like a sheet of paper. So we call it some trivial name is paper locks. And let's compare them. This one is old, this one is newer. As you see, the newer one is probably not 60mm, and this one is probably 60mm. Let's see what this measuring tool says. I don't know how you call it. I think you call it caliper, but the tool name is non-use. So let's see what non-use will say about their size. This one is 60mm, even more, 60 and something. I don't see through camera, but which scratch aligns with those on the rail, but 60mm for sure. And this one isn't 60mm. This one is 57mm. See? 57. So it's typical for newer locks made in China that Chinese manufacturers steal from us, and they say that those locks have 60mm. They are 60mm wide, but they are usually, most locks today, they're usually a bit smaller. 0.5 millimeter, 2mm, 3mm, in some cases even 5mm, but depends of the shape, size, and manufacturer. But usually they steal from us, especially if we are speaking of brass alloy. But in old times, if they said it's 60mm, it has to be 60mm. So let's measure the thickness of the lock. This one is let's see. It is thick. It says 14mm thickness. It's 14mm. Let's see. Yes, it is. It is. It is. It's like optical illusion. When you see it, you can tell that there is most likely to be 1 centimeter long, but 1 centimeter thick. But when you measure the lock, it says 14 millimeters or almost centimeter and a half. In your case, we have 12 millimeters. They stall even in thickness, in the width and in the thickness. Let's see the thickness of the shackle. This is the newer version, new one. Thickness of the shackle says 7 millimeters. Thickness of the shackle in case of the old one, 8 millimeters. For a millimeter, it's a thicker shackle than in this case. Let's see and compare the keys. Keys are practically, we could say, the same. But in this case, we have this texture and stamped name of a lock. But in this case, they didn't stamp anything and they didn't bother putting the texture for better grip. So the credit goes to the older version. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pinner. It's the same as the old one. For sure there are 5 pins because if you could see, the first pin is almost visible. It's on the beginning of a lock. I don't know if we could see, but here we are. You could see the first pin. Let me try to use a lamp. Lamp will help. As you see, you could see the first pin, and for sure it has a 5 pin inside. 5 pins. This one, however, also you couldn't see. Yes, you could see first pin, but it's pretty blurry. It's also a 5 pinner. For sure, those old locks usually have the number of pins like the number of cuts on the key. Newer locks could have 4 pins instead of 5. You could have 5 cuts, but only 4 pins. But in case of the older one, for sure, you have the number of pins matching the number of cuts. Let's see internal structure or locking pole in both cases. Let's unlock it. As you see, the locking poles are different. In older case, we have much larger locking pole, and in newer case, we have a much smaller locking pole. Not radically smaller, but small enough. So, both of these are single locking mechanisms, so they're pretty weak. And they're not for any high security application or even some moderate security. They are for very low security applications. But still, I don't know why there is a lock which is 60 millimeter wide, pretty huge, and so thin. That's those locks are really old. This design is really old. Design goes back to the early 80s, and I don't know the purpose of the lock, of such a design, of such kind of lock. Okay, I understand if they are 30 millimeters, 20 millimeters, even 50 millimeters small lock. with small keys. They are like sheet of paper thin, and okay, they are for suitcases, mailboxes, etc. It's okay. But in this case, this lock is huge. This newer one is also huge. Those locks are big. They're big, they are wide. It goes to the hand, you could feel it in both cases. This one is a bit lighter, but this one is pretty heavy. Let's do one more thing. Let's measure the locks to see how heavy they are. I brought the digital vise, and let's measure the new one first. As you see, 160 grams. Let's measure the second one. 230 grams. So you see the difference. You see how much material is stolen from us. That's practically the case with all Chinese padlocks. The older they are, the better they are. The newer they are, the bad they are. They are the worst, practically. Not all of them. Some expensive models are okay, but those cheaper models, they're usually, practically always, worse than the original one. And this one, we could say it's original one. Original thickness, original weight, original width, and thickness of the shackle, practically everything. Newer one, you see the difference. Difference is noticeable. So, also one weak spot is this plate, cover plate for the pins. It's collective cover plate, so if you punch out this plate, you will drop the guts out and the lock will open. So I still don't understand the meaning, the purpose of those locks, of this design, these sheet paper locks. They are so tiny, they are so weak, and on the other hand, they are so huge. Really, it's a riddle for me. So, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.